I don't think it's a child's responsibility to maintain a relationship with you. I don't think it's a child's responsibility to call you or reach out to you. I don't think it's a child's responsibility to go out of their way to greet you, especially if you're not making it easy for them to do so. Because in this situation, you are the adult, you have the mental capacity and maturity to put aside your own feelings, to seek out your children, to have a relationship with them, and to show them that they are a priority in your life. This goes back to basically how we expect children to do certain things that we wouldn't expect adults to do, right? For instance, if you have a friendship with somebody, generally speaking, if you're putting in more effort than your friend, and your friend never reaches out to you and wants to know how you're doing, wants to care about your emotional well-being, wants to care about your happiness, you tend to not be friends with that person anymore. Whether it just be like a distancing or you guys don't talk for a long time, usually by the person not putting in enough effort in your friendship, the friendship kind of dissipates. And if you think that it is a child's responsibility to, greet you because of respect or whatever it is, they're not circus animals, right? If it is your thinking that children need to greet you or they need to obey you because you're an adult and they are children, they don't do it because they respect you. They do it because they fear you. And it's a different thing. So if it's your goal to build a relationship with them out of fear, you can go ahead and do it, but it's not going to be a long-lasting relationship because one of these days they're going to be an adult and they're going to realize that they don't have to listen to you. Notion that some parents have about like how they were raised, for instance. I hate when people say things like, well, when I was growing up, this is how I was raised and I turned out fine. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm living in present day. I'm not living in the 90s anymore. I'm not living into the 2000s anymore. Children and their mindset has changed so much, and mental health is a very important thing to them. Present day kids are not meant to endure the same type of emotional trauma that we endured. And I wouldn't even say that makes them weak-minded. I just think that times have changed and that kids have been taught that emotional abuse is abuse. I hear so many adults think now that it's okay to put certain traumas on their kid just because it's not physical abuse. You have to think of it as like, that's not really the mindset of the kids now. That is what you were taught. And it's actually not okay. I think kids have really seen the effects of our generation and how our parents raised us, and see how unhealthy it is that we were basically taught to not express our emotions, to basically suppress our feelings, and to also not know how to deal with our emotions effectively, and making a lot of people emotionally cowardice because they don't know how to face their emotions and feel them and endure them correctly and cope with them. It's kind of the same thing as like people in the workforce, right? When you have people that are complaining that they are being pushed out of the workforce because they just refuse to change with the company, and people hate change. And so instead of adapting, they complain. And when you don't adapt, guess what? You get pushed out. So you can complain all you want, but the reality of it is that things have changed. And if you're not mature enough to adult to put aside your own ego and realize that it's not your children's responsibility to go out of the way to do something that you won't do for them, then I don't know what to say to you. I just do think that there is a whole generation of adults that are still now to this day have all this emotional trauma that they project onto their children that they refuse to get help for. And so I hope they seek it.